Welcome back, citizens, to All Mic'd Up, our smash hit podcast within a podcast where Mike and I go beyond the scope of our hero De Niro.
And we've never done that outside of All Mic'd
No,
Up.
we've never meandered, we've never gone off point, but we're here to discuss a couple of new releases for a change, which is pretty nice. Two big films, well, big's not the right word, two films that just came out, The Smashing Machine and Tron Ares. So we're going to record this in two separate locations. We're seeing both of these films on different days, but wanted to get this out as quickly as possible. Starting off with The Smashing Machine, which we just walked back from our local independent movie theater.
Yep.
Yeah, what a walk it was.
Oh, yeah. I need to tighten my Birkenstocks, as we discussed.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate
they're a
that you
little too
didn't.
loose.
Never thought to do that in the dozens of miles that you've walked in them so far.
Never once.
Just dealing with searing calf pain.
Well, you walk a lot faster than I would have. You know, I would have slowed down.
Yeah?
But I don't want to slow us down. We got places to be. We got food to eat. Movies to discuss.
That's right, we have movies to discuss. I guess let's get right into our discussion about The Smashing Machine. I think there's potential for some spoilers, so be warned if you're one of the few people planning on watching this film. And then we'll hop straight over to our second location to discuss Tron Ares.
Sounds great.
Mike, we held our tongues during the entire walk back. What did you think of A24's The Smashing Machine?
Honestly, I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really liked The Rock's performance. I thought it was really nice and understated. And I really liked the way it looked. And I liked the sound design. And I just thought it was fun. Thought it was a nice film. It wasn't like great or anything, but I liked it. Yeah.
What are you leaning towards star rating wise?
3.5, 4.
3.5, 4?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was nice. I was pretty positive on it.
No kidding.
What about you?
I was pretty lukewarm on it.
Yeah.
I was, I showed up because it was directed by one of the Safdie brothers.
I know.
And
Benny.
Benny. Yeah, well, obviously we have The Smashing Machine directed by Benny coming out right now, just watched, and we have Marty Supreme directed by Josh Safdie coming later this year. So
when does that come out? I was wondering earlier.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I really don't know. It's not the sort of thing I track. It'll come out when it comes out. And, the Safdie brothers directed one of our favorite movies of all time, Uncut Gems.
So true.
Really, really one of my top 10 all-time favorites.
Oh, it comes out on Christmas.
The Smashing Machine.
I was just about to say, I think we should talk about The Smashing Machine.
Was really lukewarm on it.
Yep.
I'm leaning towards hitting it with a 3-star, a soft 3-star.
Yeah.
I really loved the look and sound of it, especially. I mean, the best thing by far for me was the soundtrack by One O Tricks Point Never.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was great music.
But it left me very cold emotionally.
Was it by him?
It must have
The Smashing Machine? I actually don't think it was.
You don't think? Oh, really?
Yeah. I was thinking it sounded a lot. Like, clearly that's what they were going for, but...
I didn't look this up ahead of time.
I think it was a
just
different
assuming.
guy. Yep.
Different guy, like, aping his style.
Yep, I
Mike's
do think
looking
that.
it up in real time
It
right
was, it's a lady, actually, named Nala Sinefro. She's a Belgian experimental jazz musician based in London, best known for her ambient jazz compositions, where she predominantly plays the pedal harp, modular synthesizer, keyboards, and piano. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry for misgendering her. I thought the music was awesome. I think she did a great job.
So I guess the other Safdie brother got One O Tricks Point Never in the divorce. Wow. Well, I enjoyed jazz. I enjoyed the soundtrack that I thought
really
was
cool.
by someone else.
And I liked that the needle drops were mostly like covers of the famous songs that they were needle drops of, which I thought kind of like...
that's neat.
It made it feel a little less passé. I think to play like My Way by Frank Sinatra, it's like, don't play the Frank Sinatra version. That's like, it's not, your movie's not good enough to use that song.
I was comparing this film to other sports movies that I had seen recently, other new releases I had seen recently. One comparison that popped up in my mind during the film was One Battle After Another, which we saw with Caroline pretty recently in IMAX. And that is like a 2-hour and 40-minute long film that feels half an hour shorter than it is.
Yep.
And this is a 2-hour long film that felt half an hour longer. I felt like it really dragged.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty breezy. I really liked it. I thought it was interesting that nothing ever happened, but I think that's just the slow burn nature of like that version of this story, right? Like I find myself comparing it to Iron Claw, and it's like a much quieter tragedy, right? Like it's about the, just the unbearable weight of expectation when You
the
have that
unbearable
kind of...
weight of having 400 pounds of inhuman muscle attached to your skeleton.
Did you like The Rock in the role?
I liked The Rock in the role, but he is famously wearing prosthetics in this film to portray Mark Kerr, and that is the most transparent, Emmy baiting move that an actor can do. Very Bradley Cooper in the Maestro.
Oscar is the word you were looking for.
God damn it! I knew it was one of those names.
Yep. They're definitely going to give Rock the Dwayne Johnson a Tony for his performance.
Listen, sure, give him an MTV Music Award. So that was fine. I thought his performance was pretty subdued, and there was a real warmth to him.
Yep.
But he's in prosthetics the whole film, and he plays against his co-star Emily Blunt, who I don't like to comment on an actor's appearance, but her and Nicole Kidman, they are the two. Like, they can't do period pieces. They shouldn't be allowed because their faces are so plastic in a way that I don't think was possible 25 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I felt it during The Fall Guy, in which she also co-starred. She can't emote, and her face is an odd shape.
I guess you're right. That's the kind of thing that I just don't notice.
If you go back and see her in Sicario, the difference is astounding.
Like pre-work?
Yeah, pre-work. If you go back a decade. So I felt like I was in the uncanny valley the whole time, despite really enjoying the look and texture of the film.
I really liked the feel of it cinematographically.
Yeah, even though I was a little distracted by the documentary style of the camera movement, just constant whipping around and snap zooming. And
it made it feel kinetic. I feel like it imbued the relatively boring, objectively events of the film with an energy. The fact that the camera work was so lively.
Yeah, but it's lively in a documentary style. And I haven't seen the documentary on which this film is based.
Is it based on a documentary?
Yeah, it's based on a documentary also called The Smashing Machine.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really know anything about this film coming into it.
That's really all I knew. But I just kept thinking, it's an interesting choice to go for documentary-style cinematography when you're making a film adaptation of a documentary. You're really just removing reasons to not just watch the documentary instead, which I suspect would feel more emotionally compelling than this very Oscar baity kind of film.
Yeah. You think it's going to win any Oscars?
No.
No? You don't think it might get best makeup for The Rock?
For the prosthetics, maybe. Yeah. I don't know what else is going to be in contention.
I thought they looked quite good, honestly.
They looked good.
I thought it was very convincing. So that's nice, at least. Certainly more convincing to me than Bradley Cooper's nose in
the Maestro.
Yeah.
Tread carefully, man. That's friend of the pod Lips's favorite film.
That's true. Yeah. So just for citizens of De Niro Nation, when did that come out? Was that a 2024 film or 2023
I don't know. What
film?
am I, your fucking fact checker?
In whatever year
Jesus.
Maestro came out, that was friend of the pod Lips's favorite film.
Story-wise, structurally, I kept wondering, why should I care about this? And so mentally, I was comparing it to these other films, like The Iron Claw is a pretty obvious one. I haven't seen The Wrestler, so I couldn't make that comparison.
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, of course, was popping up in my mind.
Yep.
And I don't know, this was such a rote story. It immediately just felt like something I had seen a million times before. And I think that is a huge pitfall of the sports biopic genre.
Yeah.
I don't like biopics in general.
I don't think it was particularly rote as far as the sports biopic goes. He loses within the first quarter of the film. And it's a film about a guy who never loses. And then at the end he loses. And that's the story. What do you mean? I think it was kind of the opposite. I think it was kind of the opposite of a rote sports biopic.
Yeah. What are you talking about? It hit all of the beats. Hit all of those beats. Him and his drug addiction.
But it's
got to get clean.
But it's not triumphant.
Every time. I think that's neither here nor there when it comes to the overall structure of the film. How it ends, honestly. The journey to get there just felt so formulaic. That's why I don't like music biopics either.
I suppose.
What is the point of these genres of film?
Is it truthful to his life?
I don't know, but I assume yes if it's based on a documentary.
Then I think that's just what happened.
Sure.
I
don't think that's a compelling enough reason to... The way that you felt that about Raging Bull, I feel that way about The Smashing Machine. Listen, Mark Kerr seems like a great guy. I'd be interested to have a conversation with him someday, but it didn't really make me that interested in learning the history of UFC.
Oh, it certainly didn't
or
have that
more
effect
about
on me at
him
all.
and his friend Mark Coleman's lives.
I found them compelling. as characters.
I found the characters interesting, but structurally speaking, story-wise, Mark Coleman gets more prominence later on in the story, and I thought it was a real failing of the film that they didn't put more focus on him early on. And here's the thing. Here's when I knew this shit was going to be a 3-star film for me. Because late in the film, I thought to myself, the Smashing Machine could have learned a thing or two from Grudge Match. Because that is a film with 2 protagonists.
Yeah.
And we see them both coming up. We see their stories in parallel. In The Smashing Machine, we really only follow Mark until about the halfway point, and then we get more of his friend and competitor Mark Coleman. But just a little bit, not enough. And I think the movie would have really benefited from seeing both of their lives in parallel. I guess it wouldn't just be a Mark Kerr biopic, but it seemed like there was enough there to portray these stories in tandem. I don't think there was enough there to only show Mark Kerr's life.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I
don't know.
don't think that would have fit with the general point of the film. I think the point is that Mark Coleman is only there to better flesh out the character of Mark Kerr. It doesn't have 2 protagonists. And in the end, Mark Kerr loses nominally to Mark Coleman. He's kind of the antagonist of the film in a way. And I think that is what makes it not a rote story, is that there's a very strange way that he's characterized that I think is really unique. He is both protector and opponent, protagonist and antagonist.
Wow.
Forward
antagonist, inverted antagonist.
I don't know. I think we're just not going to agree about this one.
Yeah.
But certainly aesthetically, I thought it was delightful.
Oh yeah, no, the look was great.
I loved the kind of warm filmic quality to it, and the colors I thought were really lovely. I especially loved the sequence when they're in the theme park.
Yeah.
I thought that the neon lights of the theme park rides were so cool. I love the scene of Emily Blunt inside the
is that the Gravitron?
The Gravitron machine. Yeah, the spinning ride. I thought that was really cool how it kind of switched between a camera that was affixed to the machine as it spun versus perceiving the spinning. I thought that was a really cool effect. I don't know. I thought it was a nice film. I'm happy we saw it.
The Gravitron is my favorite carnival ride.
Yep.
Although it was funny when we acknowledged during the movie that I am Mark Kerr, because we were both worried about how sensitive our tummies are.
Yep. I love how much he says the word tummy.
Tummy.
I thought that was
totally
awesome.
sincerely.
Yep. And I also, the moment that made us say it, just in case folks actually do watch or have watched this film, is when Mark Kerr is on the merry-go-round and he says, "This is about my speed."
Yeah.
And I was like, that's about your speed.
That was me when we went
Mike
to...
back at you. Yep.
What's it
We were on
called? Seabreeze?
Yeah.
That was me when we went to Seabreeze.
Mike and I are next to each other on a ride and looking at our heart rates, and mine's 79 and his is 132.
My heart's about to explode.
He's losing his mind at this moderately thrilling thrill ride.
Going up 15 feet in the air.
You just weren't built for it.
It's terrifying shit, man. Listen, man, I did the sky jump Las Vegas.
Yeah?
There's a video record of that is available in the show notes of one of the many episodes.
Yeah, I could have done it. I had my one chance,
Yeah.
Now I probably never will. I'm fine with that, honestly. It scares me so much.
Yeah, I can't believe I did it.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do a Vegas weekend sometime.
Yeah,
though.
I agree.
It'd be a really good MSW graduation
I was just about
thing.
to say, maybe when you graduate.
I don't know. There was something about the look and feel of the film that it just lacked the magic that Good Time and Uncut Gems had.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It certainly doesn't. I mean, those are both 5-star films.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think those are high highs. Good Time and Uncut Gems.
So what's missing?
I just don't know that. Anything that we ever saw happen in this film ever matched the tone. And I think that is where it kind of fails relative to the greatness of Uncut Gems and Good Time. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think structurally about those stories. I think early on in those stories, in both cases, something happens that's kind of fucked up and disturbing in a way that I think informs you as a viewer that the stakes are kind of elevated and strange, wacky things could occur. In The Smashing Machine, it has that same tone. I wondered if he ever was going to hit Emily Blunt, but he never does. You know, and so it's trying to suggest like, oh, maybe something really fucked up will happen. Like maybe this will be really dark. But then really like nothing really dark ever does happen.
I'm
like,
not even joking. Yeah. I kept waiting for someone to die in a horrific
right,
accident.
like something or like when she like tried to shoot herself, I thought she was going to succeed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe that'll be the thing that will justify the fact that this has had this like kind of pent up like frenetic sort of tone. And then it just never did.
That comes so much later than the carnival scene. And I swear to God, they spent so much time on the whole Gravitron sequence that I thought when we got the external shot of Mark standing outside of the Gravitron with his back turned to it, that the Gravitron was going to
just waiting for it to fly into him.
And just
I was kind of expecting that too. I was like, oh, is that the fucked up thing that's going to happen?
She's getting pressed against the back of the Gravitron, and she's kind of going up in a crazy position that you couldn't sustain if there was normal gravity. And I just thought, oh yeah, that would totally fuck someone up if suddenly they got flung or something.
Yeah, man, I think so. I think you die. That would totally fuck someone up.
I was waiting for the drama. The drama felt so rote and just paint by numbers, and we had the moments, that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would use in his actor's reel or whatever. Yeah. Oh, this is a great moment where I yell at Emily Blunt and she yells back at me, but neither of our faces move because I'm covered in prosthetics and she had way too much Botox.
I think that the drama is more understated. I think it's a character study.
Yeah, I just don't think he's a very interesting character. He seems like a really cool guy. Like, don't let me make it sound like I'm coming down hard on the guy.
He does seem really cool.
Like
I think I'd like to hang out with him. He seems really nice.
He gets
very
addicted,
thoughtful and profound.
Yeah, he gets addicted to smack.
Yeah.
And then
kicks it.
A couple of scenes later, he quits it, and and there's never any tension or there's a little bit.
I think we're just going to disagree about this.
Sorry, we only have 2 hours here, and we need to make the 2 hours feel like 2.5 hours. It's called
God.
Bang for your buck.
Ugh.
Oh God. Well, I guess I don't have anything else to say about this film.
I don't know what else there is to say. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I'd give it a mild.
Yeah, it's worth going to see, right? One way or another. Like, and if you like other Safdie Brother films like Uncut Gems or Good Time, like it certainly has some of those aesthetics. Like, kind of reminded me of watching Good Time in a way that was pleasant.
Yeah, it's tough because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's reminding me of a thing I'd rather be seeing.
Yeah,
I just think it wasn't a bad film on its own in a vacuum. I kind of liked it, but I just think if you want to see a sports biopic, watch Raging Bull. If you want to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
watch Moana.
I was going to say Fast Five.
Yeah, I was joking.
There's just like so many other options that you could go with, and I think you would have a more entertaining. If you want some of that Safdie Brothers magic,
watch Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get it here necessarily. So
if you want to see Emily Blunt, watch The Fall Guy.
Watch Sicario. Jesus.
I thought what I said was funny about Fall Guy.
Yeah, I just can't condone that recommendation.
What did we give that one? I want to look it up.
I either gave it a 3 or a 3.5.
Yeah, I recall it not being particularly bad or particularly good. Oh, I actually gave it 4.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, you know what it was, man? You know why? It's because it came out, on April 30th. And so we were coming out of like the winter, early spring IMAX season. Yeah. I had just seen 12 of the worst films I'd ever seen in my life leading up to that one. And I watched The Fall Guy and I was like, did I just fucking watch Casablanca? It seemed so good relative to the schlock that we'd seen in the Q1 IMAX doldrums. That was brutal.
Yeah, that was a rough.
It's a rough challenge in the first.
That was a rough
first half
quarter
of the year
for the year of IMAX. Yeah. Now we're gonna switch it over to a few days from now and share our thoughts on Tron Ares.
Hello from the past.
And we're back from the future here to discuss Tron Ares. I'm just gonna get right into it with asking for your opinion, Mike. What did you think of Tron Ares?
I thought it was a powerful and thought-provoking meditation on the dangers of weak corporate governance.
Yeah.
And the need to have a really engaged board, And the guy was totally out of fucking control.
Do you think there should have been more boardroom drama?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think it was very good. I liked the music well enough. I didn't like it as much as I hoped that I would. Mm-hmm. When I remember the way that the Daft Punk score for the previous film made me feel. I thought it had some really fun visual flourishes, and I honestly liked Jared Leto more than I thought I would. But it didn't really make me feel anything for the entire runtime. But I think that's tough. I didn't really care about Greta Lee's character. I don't know. What about you? What did you think?
Well, what star rating?
Oh, we're
think
coming
you're-
right out with the star rating?
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking for your opinion.
I'm leaning like 3 stars.
Okay.
What
Sure.
What about you? What did
Yeah,
you
I'll
think?
give you my opinion now. Yeah, so I think more familiarity with the Tron franchise than you. I rewatched the first 2 films in anticipation for this one. For those who don't know, Nine Inch Nails is my favorite band of all time. That's really what got me to come here opening weekend at all. I think if any other band or musician did the music for Tron Ares, I would not give a shit and would probably wait for the streaming release 3 months from now. So yeah, as an audiovisual experience, I enjoyed it a lot, but I think the film is fundamentally flawed. I mean, the script is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I completely agree with you. I did not care about any of these characters. Tron Legacy has a really positive reception on like Reddit and online and film circles. And I think it's because people really fondly remember the Daft Punk soundtrack, which I agree was
really
better
nice.
than the
Yep.
music in Tron Ares by Nine Inch Nails. But the film itself is pretty boring. When I rewatched it last week, the thought that I had during the first hour was, oh my God, this is the best movie I've ever seen. Why do I not remember liking it this much? But it really falls apart in the third act. I think that's just Joseph Kosinski. Formally speaking, Tron Legacy is really well directed, and it's just kind of boring, and it really only comes alive when Jeff Bridges is on screen, because Tron Legacy is really at its core a father-son story. Tron Ares suffers from that same problem, that it's most alive when Jeff Bridges is on screen.
He's got 7 minutes of
but
screen
he has
time.
a cameo. So I really didn't care about the character of Ares. I didn't care about any of the real world human bullshit. I really found Arthur Arturo, I think that's his name, as the comic relief sidekick to Greta Lee's character.
What was up with that?
Pretty grating. The first 2 Tron films didn't have that much comedy, and I really don't think they needed it.
I don't understand what he was supposed to be. Was he like her sidekick, or was he supposed to be her husband?
I think sidekick.
Well, he lived with her in the concert hut for
Well, he
for
went
months.
with her. He went with her on that journey, that expedition.
Yeah, maybe you're
I
right.
think they're like biffles.
All right.
The other thing about Tron Legacy versus Tron Ares, Tron Legacy, I think, made a very wise decision when Sam Flynn is digitized, or whatever they call it in Tron speak, and sent into the grid. We don't leave the grid until the very end of the film, the very last scene.
Yep.
And that really allows us to like immerse ourselves in this like totally foreign world. Whereas we spend most of Tron Ares in Vancouver. And it's just a little less wondrous and a little less exciting. You know, they set it up for a sequel. And I guess as far as like legacy standalone sequel corporate slop goes, like franchise starters go, I think this could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that's true.
This film also had David Fincher's regular cinematographer, and I really enjoyed the cinematography.
Yeah,
was
I
just-
agree. It was a nice looking film.
Yeah, nice looking film. I absolutely loved the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, but it wasn't as propulsive, it wasn't as memorable as Daft Punk's soundtrack for Tron Legacy. So I think if that's what you're comparing it to, you might feel disappointed. But I liked the tone of the film. I just thought there was a little too much comic relief, and the story and characters were just so dull.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
a real shame.
The most impactful parts of the score, honestly, were quoting the Daft Punk score. There were like multiple points where I had like little stings from the Daft Punk score, and I was like, I remember that song.
I read a review, I can't remember who it was, who suggested that like Keanu Reeves would have been much better as Ares than Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And it's a shame Keanu's a little too old now, because I do think that, yeah, if you go to like early to mid 2000s Keanu and put him in that character, I think you would actually feel quite a bit more for him.
But yeah, he was affecting a real like Keanu Reeves air
Yeah.
in his performance, and I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, just should have been Keanu.
Yeah.
They could have de-aged him, like in The Irishman.
Sure. Why not? Yeah, that was believable.
Or in The Comedian.
Yeah. Or in Grudge Match, or in any of the other bad De Niro films where he's de-aged. So yeah, I definitely recommend it as an IMAX experience.
Agreed.
I wouldn't want to experience it my first time any other way. It's going to really not have as much impact if you watch it on your TV and $99 soundbar. But yeah, I wouldn't call it particularly good or anything. But none of the Tron films are that good. That's the thing. This is not a franchise that people are emotionally connected to. It hasn't had that much cultural impact. It's just a kind of neat movie about going into computers.
Yeah, it's cool to go into computers.
Yeah, they just don't go into computers very much in this one.
What was that show that was on when we were kids that was about going into computers?
Reboot.
Not Reboot. There was a different one.
Oh, shit.
There were like robots who fought like in the computer, and the kids would like go in through the modem. I remember watching it at like 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday mornings. Maybe when I was like 7 or 8.
I don't remember this show.
Yeah. Citizens, I'm going to dig into this and find the answer, and we'll report back on what this show was in a future All Mic'd Up.
Yeah, great. It's homework for you. Do you think you're actually going to remember?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Google it in a tab on my browser right now, and then I'll see it when I open the browser.
But yeah, ultimately, I think I'm also landing on a 3 out of 5 for Tron Ares. I mean, this is, sometimes I joke that I'm going to, that I'm bumping a review up in score because of some element of it. This is actually sincerely a case where I'm bumping it up from a 2.5 to a 3 due to the strength of the Nine Inch Nails score. On that note, we actually did want to read a little comment from the Our Hero De Niro YouTube channel in regards to our recent Tenet episode. Mike has it queued up if you'd like to go ahead and read it for us.
Yep, and this comment is from at Jeremy Page Q4P. And I quote, "Tenet, in my opinion, is a fantastic movie, but I love movies that really engage my brain, so I'm biased. That being said, it's also a total vibe movie. Don't understand the plot? No big deal. Just sit back and watch cool guys in cool suits do cool shit, or just marvel at Nolan's virtuosity with practical effects and IMAX filmmaking. There's something for every kind of film fan, except maybe franchise comic book fans. I wasn't surprised at all to hear Nolan say Radiohead was his favorite band in an interview. Both seem to be able to pursue esoteric, eclectic, sometimes just plain weird artistic interests and somehow become even more popular. This won't make sense if you aren't Radiohead fans, but if Inception is Nolan's OK Computer, then Tenet is his Kid A. Have a good one." I like Tenet more than I like Kid A. But it's a great comment. It's a great comment, Jeremy Page Q4P. And, we don't get a lot of engagement on our YouTube page, so it was just nice to get such a thoughtful comment from somebody on YouTube.
I agree. Hey, citizens, throw us a little subscribe on the Our Hero De Niro YouTube page. I'm glad we decided to respond to this comment on the pod because I actually... Are you a Radiohead fan?
I am. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I am. I honestly, though, I haven't listened to their music in years. I mean, they haven't made an album in 9 years at this point, so I think that's to be expected. But I will actually say that Kid A is my favorite Radiohead album. So I actually love that comparison that he made. And I agree. I think that's a really apt comparison because I think it's... most people who aren't total Tenet freaks like me and Mike would probably argue that, Tenet is more experimental or whatever, but Inception is, technically the better film. I might even make that argument if I didn't think it fell apart in the last 20 minutes and really slowed down. But yeah, I fucking love Kid A. It's so weird and experimental and avant-garde, and I just love all the interesting beeps and boops and what Tom York was doing, just totally letting his freak flag fly. And I feel that way about Tenet. It's just such an incredible experience in so many ways that... I never would have made that comparison because I haven't listened to Radiohead's music in years, but now I might go back and re-listen to the classics. OK Computer, Kid A, Amnesiac. I don't really care about the other ones so much.
I like the Bends.
Yeah.
Did Radiohead release an album 9 years ago?
Wasn't it a moon-shaped pool in 2016?
Man, I don't remember that at all.
I don't think
I listened to it, honestly.
Yeah, well...
You asked me 90 seconds ago before you said that what the last Radiohead album was, I would have said In Rainbows.
I mean, that was the last one that I really engaged with, and that was like 2007, so it really has been a while. I'm going to Google it really quick. A Moon-Shaped Pool, 2016 studio album by Radiohead. You're such a fake Radiohead fan, man.
You agreed that you didn't really engage with it.
I swear I listened to that album. I listened to that album once or twice, and I just thought, I don't know what Radiohead's doing anymore, but it's not for me. It's just a little too, mellow, I think. In Rainbows
that makes you want to listen to it.
Yeah, sure.
I cue it up for the drive home.
There you go. Yeah, I think on that note, it's time for us to hit the old dusty trail and drive back to our respective homes. But I had a lot of fun discussing the Smashing Machine. I almost forgot what the first film we watched was. And Tron Ares, a couple of 3 out of 5 films.
That's right.
And we'll be back with you next week for our regularly scheduled episode about Killers of the Flower Moon.
Can't wait.
Thanks for listening. See you later, guys.